And we're back. South, I'm back.
Oh, back again.
Guess what?
What, chicken butt?
I beat COVID once again.
You beat again? Yeah. What is the record now?
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah, as far as I know. Could be 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
2-0 officially.
Yeah. Well, if the Rocky movies have taught me anything, it's brain damage exists. So.
And that the sequels just keep getting worse and worse?
Yeah. Yeah. You go back and watch that one where he wins the Cold War. It's pretty bad. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, I know people love that one because it's ironic, but they did not intend that. So
speaking of the Cold War,
yeah.
I heard you just bought this bad boy from Russia.
Yeah. Caught it online for a fairly good discount on RussianDeals.org.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
How'd you afford this?
Well, our last episode was about 6 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
That sound right? Yeah. So about 6 weeks of donating plasma. Guys, this bad boy.
Isn't there like a limit?
Yeah. Well, no, Thomas Watson. He's got a bag full of like visas and IDs and stuff like that. I just borrowed a couple of his, and they don't know. You just put on a different accent. And you go in and like, I'm here to donate the plasma.
Is that why you've been passing out so much lately?
Yeah. Honestly, but it's good for your health. That's what they say. Yeah.
Like you just sleep and.
Yeah. Listen, it resets your body. As long as you're not driving, you're usually fine, or operating heavy machinery, or walking across the street, or anything like that. It's a health craze. It's popular up north. It hasn't gotten down here yet. I thought you'd know about it.
South, I'm concerned.
Like intermittent fasting. This is like the same thing, but passing out. Yeah, it's a health craze.
Passing out. It's not like semaglutide, South.
Huh?
Let's just start the show.
Okay. All right. Whatever, Mr. Science.
So, as South mentioned, it's been quite some time since our last update, and we got to jump into all the latest, starting it off, of course, with consumers. And latest thing that we're looking at, of course, this week is going to be around the CPI. That's going to be the Consumer Price Index. One of the things that really is going to gauge inflation and what's going on in South. We got ourselves a little bit of an increase. So, latest CPI showed that there was a rise of 0.6% for the month, and this is going to be up 3.7% over the last 12 months, and really all this can be attributed to energy. So we're thinking about energy, comes in different forms, but mainly gasoline. So OPEC Plus finally starting to get to us where we're looking at the production cuts, starting to increase on some of those prices. But some say that hasn't even really started to make its way through the pricing structure just yet. I'm not going to get into this because I'll leave that for the great John Kingston, the true market expert, if there ever was one. But gas prices are certainly going up, and that is increasing inflation overall and really taking away some money from consumers.
What is your opinion on if we should depend more on nuclear energy? I know that's a argument that gets brought up every once in a while.
Yeah, especially like a nuclear car.
Yeah.
Tesla would be...
Tesla, yeah.
A nuclear Tesla? Can you imagine that?
No, we don't need to give Elon anything to do.
We need to give Elon Musk a nuclear power plant.
No.
He needs that.
No.
Interest rates aside, when we're looking at consumer conditions, they're not on the most stable grounds. And so, of course, this is something that we've been looking at for quite some time. Even some of the old throwback episodes of Economy Lately in our old setup, we're talking about that there's some suspicion around the job market. Right now, it's still holding up, but there are some cracks being shown. So we're looking at job openings that fell in the latest report from the highs that we saw in the midst of course, post-pandemic, around 11.3 million over a year ago. Now at 8.8 million for overall job openings. We also see that the ADP employment report shows that there's been a drop in overall private employment. I don't know why I paused there.
I thought you were just being dramatic. Were you not?
Was that a dramatic pause? Okay.
Yeah.
Private employment. And that's showing that there is some easing overall. But the big thing is we're looking at initial jobless claims, that has not really started to tick up at all. Even the 4-week moving average is starting to hit some lows that we haven't seen in quite some time. Initial jobless claims, the most recent number came out to 220,000. So nowhere near that code yellow, code orange really mark that you would say.
Mountain Dew, code red Mountain Dew.
They still make that?
Probably. There's like Mountain Dew heads out there.
I was a big fan.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we can get you some.
I haven't had soda in over 15 years.
I was about to say, yeah.
Maybe I'll bring it back for that.
Yeah, we should do it on air. You should test out all the new Mountain Dew flavors. I'm sure there's one like...
Do a blind taste test?
Yeah, and see what it does to your body in real time.
CFI Glow code red.
Yeah. Ooh.
Who knows? We also got updates for retail sales, so showing that there was an increase for retail sales of 0.6%, but might be a little bit of a surprise here. One of the biggest, I would say, additions to the overall retail sales report came from, you guessed it, gasoline. So gas stations increased full overall 5.2%. So that was one that we could kind of see coming with the increases in energy prices and gas overall, really making its way overall to retail sales. And of course, every time we talk about retail sales, have to come with this note that it's not adjusted for inflation on the headline report released by the Census Bureau. So that increase of 0.6% might indeed be a downward movement overall once it's adjusted for inflation. So there's that big takeaway there that we always have to take note of. And indeed, we're looking at overall results going into the latter half of this year. We have to make note of nominal results compared to real results. So if you're looking at results on quarterly basis for some private companies, take some things into account on what it really means on a nominal basis versus real basis when inflation starts to get really kind of factored into everything altogether. The other big thing is, of course, never bet against the American consumer. They're always going to spend until their last dime. That's one of the big things that Americans are really good at, is spending every single last penny that they have or that they don't have, because credit cards are a thing, and that's continuing to go up despite really student loans being right around the corner.
Yeah, well, it's in the Constitution. Well, the amendments, I'm pretty sure.
Is that in there?
Yeah, the right to spend as much money you don't have as humanly possible.
I have to double check that. But even if that's not the case, I mean, we learned it from the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, the deficit spending, the national debt, is it hit 33 trillion just yet? It's right around the corner. So it's not like the consumer is doing anything too much different from the government itself. And on top of that, the savings rate for the consumers are still below the pre-pandemic level. It's not the best outlook right now. But one of the big things, of course, for the American consumer, they're likely start to trade down in goods before stopping spending overall. And really, I was talking with my guy, Mike B, Mikey B. And he's a CPG genius. And one of the big things I had asking around the CPG market was this big trend of, semaglutide, the whole you do the shoot up thing. Now you're not hungry for a month or something like that, 2 months, whatever. What does that mean for CPG? Because what if I'm not hungry? Am I not going to snack as much? Do I not eat as many cupcakes? What's going to go on with my chips? I'm not taking in as many calories. Is that going to be a big enough fad for people to stop buying some of those CPG goods? Or is it just going to be another blip and gone like the Bowflex or something like that?
I just told you, you pass out. You don't buy anything, and then you wake up later.
Is that the next iteration?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Told you. I got influencers, at my fingertips. Tell me these things.
You might be onto something, South.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut this episode here. South, concerned about you and I really appreciate this
Oh,
table,
yeah, I knew you would. I'd do anything for you, Anthony.
but
What?
at the cost of your health, we're concerned. So we're going to go over, take a trip to the doctor's office.
Oh, okay.
Get some tests ran, make sure
Wait
you're
a
good to
minute.
go.
This isn't like the doctor, right?
No.
Not the, okay.
No, just run a few tests, make sure you're good to go.
All right.
Make sure your wiring's all set. Maybe go to IT as well, because I know you're kind of like the little cyborg. But we still got some updates coming up next week. So we're going to be talking around housing starts, of course. That's going to be a big one. And Jay Powell and the Fed, they have their interest rate decision. And a lot of signs pointing that they have I'd say enough information to increase interest rates once again. But really the big thing is that the whole impact of inflation and interest rates haven't really been felt just yet. So interest rate impacts probably will be felt well into 2024. So we'll just have to wait and see what their decision is and what the impacts are going to be.
Oh, all right. Well, sounds good. Well, thanks for tuning in here, the Drilling Deep. And
Sal.
What? Huh? What?
Economy lately.
Oh, economy. Sorry.
Are you?
Huh?
Do you know where you are right now?
Yeah. Of course, I'm at Sing It or Wing It, right?
South, we got to go.
All right, whatever.
Can you walk?
Yeah, sure. I can roll.
See you next week.